One. ESBR Boxing, we are back. Myself and my comparator, my colleague Niall, we're here in review mode. We've been obviously checking out the DAZN card tonight from Liverpool, headlined by Jack Catterall's defeated Jorge Linares by UD 116, 112, 116, 112, 117, 11. Niall, let's get straight into it, pal. Let's get your reaction first and foremost on the fight. Did you impressed? Were you disappointed? Was it what you expected? Was it not what you expected? Please give us your summary.
Yeah, it was what I expected. I think it was what a lot of people expected, and that CATTERALL should be beating Linares at this stage of his career. He's definitely on the slide. He's been a pro for what, 21 years, and he's nearly 40, and he's had a great career. But if CATTERALL really was world class, he would have had to be dealing with Linares comfortably, which he did. The only thing that was missing was a stoppage, really, and don't know, he hurt him once in the fifth round, but apart from that, never really looked like stopping him. But I thought it was a good boxing performance. I think he boxed really well, even though it wasn't the most stylistically pleasing fight to watch or the most entertaining. But I thought he really boxed well, for worked his jab well, spun Linares on his head at times, really, but the body work was great. And yeah, I thought he fought well and dominated, so job done in that regard. So yeah, it went pretty much as I'd expected it to go.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. I think we talked about in the prediction show. I had UD for Carroll. I think again, his KO percentage record's not the highest either. So I kind of he doesn't tend to be the sort of fighter that goes on the front foot and is aggressive in that way. So I kind of expected him to kind of just win on points, even though some people were saying he needed a breakout victory via stoppage here. Do you agree with that at all? Do you think that he really needed a sort of statement win against Linares? Do you think he needed to stop him tonight? Do you think Linares is, well, let's be honest, he beat Josh Taylor, but taking that aside, do you think official records, do you think Linares is the best victory on his CV at the moment as well?
Yeah, officially it is the biggest name on his CV so far. As you said, he should have got the Josh Taylor decision. I think we can all agree with that. But in terms of officially winning, yeah, Linares is the biggest name on his record. I don't really subscribe to the notion that like he should have stopped him, and it was disappointing that he didn't stop him. I kind of thought he might have stopped him. Linares isn't the most durable of all the attributes he has. He has been quite shinny in the past, but he's still Jorge Linares. He still has that quality, and he dominated him. So I don't really see it as a knock on Catterall that he couldn't stop him. He pretty much dominated that fight from start to finish with his boxing skills, like people expected him to do. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't take anything away from Catterall for not getting the stoppage share. To be honest, I think he looked kind of comfortable enough without it.
Let's just take let's talk, I suppose, let's go to future mode then now. Obviously, I think we agree it's a solid performance from Jack Carroll tonight. Congratulations to him. Under what was actually quite high pressure. And I agree with you as well that Linares is the best name, official name on his record. So fair play, pressure fight, even though Linares is not the fighter we know, still a good win. Still a good win for Jack Carroll tonight. Let's look at other names, I suppose, in the division. I mean, obviously you've got Teofimo Lopez, world champion up in that division. You've got Reggie Pegray as well, Matthias, Rolly Romero, names of that nature that's got kicking around the division, also British level or British names. Obviously, you've got Davis. You've also got Josh Taylor, obviously, in there as well. Who would you like to see Jack Catterall fight next in an ideal world, Owen? And also we'll start there. We'll start there. Who would you like to see him fight next?
Well, ideally, I think he deserves a world title shot now. There's a lot of talk about will he rematch Josh Taylor, and I would love to see him get that one back, kind of, right that wrong that was done to him in that fight. But I think he deserves a world title next, whether it be the winner of Haney, Prograis. I think it'll be a good fight for him. And the other champions that you mentioned, Mateus and Rolly Romero, are kind of more favourable champions, I suppose. If he was to go down that route, I'd favour him against. I'd probably favour him against Mateus and Rolly Romero, to be honest, rather than the Haney Prograis winner. But I'd love to see him fight for a world title. You
Yeah,
know,
I actually agree with you. Actually, I think I'd have Pegray beating him, frankly, if they were to fight. So I suppose the other question, I suppose, really is then: you kind of alluded to it? You think you kind of favour them there, but it's your opinion that Jack Catterall will become a world champion at some point, a fully fledged world champion. Is that something you stick by at stage?
Yeah, I do. I think he's good enough. He has the boxing ability. As you say, he's not the biggest puncher in the world, but he has the ability, and he's proved he can do it once against the undisputed champion. The best light welterweight in the world, Josh Taylor. He won that. He should have won that. So he proved he has the talent to do it. It's just about officially getting it done now on the scorecards, whether it be against Haney or Prograis or Mateus or Romero. But I think he's more than capable of becoming world champion in that 140-pound division. I really do.
Let's no, thank you very much. I agree with what you're saying. Let's talk. Let's have, I suppose, put the final word on the challenger tonight, Jorge Linares. Obviously, a man with a decorated career. 38 years old now. Been in a lot of fights. Obviously, I think what's his record stand at something now like 47-9. Some of those those 9 losses don't necessarily though there's a lot of them in recent, they don't necessarily reflect accurately on how successful his record has been over the years. What would you like to see Jorge Linares do? Do you think Jorge Linares for you is still able? Well, look, he's obviously just lost a UD to someone like Jack Carroll, who's a world title contender, so he's still obviously got a certain level. Would you like to see him carry on fighting, maybe like have that sort of gatekeeper status now, or do you see potentially retirement? Would you like to see for Jorge Linares, or do you think there's actually any way that he can kind of be in the title mix himself again at any stage in the lightweight or super lightweight divisions?
Personally, I'd like to see him step away now. I think he's had a great career, a long career. As you say, he's pro since 2002. He's been an amazing fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch in his day. So quick, so technically brilliant. He was great to watch, but I think it's time to step away now. I don't think he has a world title in him at 135 or 140. And there's no shame in that really, but I'd hate to see him become that gatekeeper. Because if he carried on, I do think he would take a few more losses, and that would be sad to see against people that probably wouldn't have beaten him in their prime. But he would be that kind of gatekeeper that if you're a world class, you should be beating him comfortably now at this stage. But if he was to fight somebody who wasn't up to it, he would find them out, I think. And just bring them back down to earth. But no, I'd like to see him step away now. He's been at it long enough, and he's had an amazing career. He's been brilliant to watch. He really has.
No, I totally agree with you, Niall. Actually, I think look, he got caught in these several times, well, multiple times by Jack Carroll tonight, frankly. Fairly flush. Didn't look too marked up, to be honest with you, but that's obviously more down to Carroll's punching power actually than anything else. Whereas, like you say, I think if he stepped into some of the harder fights with the guys with higher KO percentage records, etc., there's a chance he could actually get hurt. And some of that speed and some of that distance, some of that timing was lacking a bit from what you've seen, obviously from a prime Linares. So I actually agree with you. I think hope all is well, and obviously maybe step away now would be advisable. But Owen, we are going to step away, you and I, now from this review. Thank you very much, obviously, guys that are up at this sort of hour, watching us, filming it with us. Let us know in the comments whether you agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know what you think to Jack Carroll's performance. We'll obviously bring further sort of content, reviews, and previews over the coming week. Thank you very much for watching, and again, Niall, thank you very much for joining me.
Cheers, thank you. Take care.